I want to say a massive thank you to our presenting sponsor, BetQL, the #1 app when comparing betting odds and the best way to beat your sportsbook this football season. Folks, BetQL's best bets algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets. Week 1 between Thursday and Sunday. You can find the information in the description of this stream to take advantage of BetQL right now. Use the discount code ChatLines to get 25% off any of their subscription offerings, and find information in the description, including a special offer to get 1 year off of BetQL. Hey, it's a young team. I love the trajectory of Dan Campbell. I love the trajectory of Brad Holmes. And a lot of fans say it's the same old Lions, same old Lions, same old Lions. I personally don't believe it's so. I think that what we got from Sheila Ford going down to Brad Holmes, going down to Chris Spielman, going down to obviously the Danimal, it's a different feel, this team, even though we're sucking right now. What could you tell my subscribers, which I got 90 right now, that this is not the same old Lions?
I think you just hit on it. The fact that there's a plan, like Brad Holmes has an idea for a vision for how this team's going to be built, and the fact that he stuck to it. That, like, they got rid of Jamie Collins. They're eating some dead cap on that. They're getting rid of everything that they need to get rid of. Look, we won't go to the Stafford argument now, but the fact that they moved on clean from him and were willing to take the financial hit that they did so they could build for the future, that's not something that prior regimes were willing to do. Mm-hmm. They understand that they might have to have a bad year where they might only win 3 or 4 games like this year in order to get it so they can do what they need to do to get to 11, 12 wins, possible playoff wins down the road. It wasn't going to happen with what they had. That was obvious to everyone. It became obvious to the people in the building, and they made the changes that they needed to. Look, I don't know if it's going to work long term. I'm excited about it. I appreciate the fact that they built through the trenches, that they added guys who can do a lot of different things. Like Aleem McNeil, he's your nose tackle. He can also play a 3. He can also play a 5 if you need him to. You know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, starting slot receiver right now. He can also play outside. He can be your punt returner. They got a lot of bang for their buck in a draft, and they got so many draft picks coming up. And I love the fact that they get rid of Collins. You know, they get rid of like Tavai. They didn't sign high-priced veterans or hole fillers. Like look at what the Houston Texans have. They just signed Danny Amendola. He's 35 years old, going nowhere. Mm-hmm. They have so many guys like that. That's their team. That's why they're better than the Lions this year, because they have all those veteran fill-in gap guys. That's not helping them win games in 2022 and 2023 when Deshaun Watson's finally gone. They're not getting young guys playing time. Lions are getting that. Yes. We're seeing Bobby Price out there. We're seeing Derek Barnes getting minutes. We're seeing Matt Nelson, if he can be a swing tackle or not. So you have to go out and pay a veteran $2.5 million to do it. You can pay the old Iowa defensive end, $775K. That allows you to go shopping for a more premium receiver. That's why Brashad Perriman isn't here, because he didn't add value. They're running guy. They got Trinity Benson. Haven't seen a lot out of him other than that dude can fly in a straight line, man. That guy's fast.
Straight line
I don't know if he can play receiver. Yeah. They're given chances for young guys to prove themselves. What does that do? That's exciting, man, because if you're a young guy on another team and it's not maybe working out for you with the Jets or the Bengals or something like that, you'll be like, Dan Campbell's going to give me a shot to prove what I can do. And maybe that's where I go next. Maybe that's where I want to go. It's a different recruiting tool because quite frankly, that doesn't work when you're really good. But if you're bad, you got to have a reason why people want to come to you. Dan Campbell's giving them a reason because, like, oh man, we're going to get a shot. Like they're not going to play favorites on me. If they bring me in, they're going to let me try and see what I can do. That's very appealing to young players and to guys that are trying to stick. And it's also appealing to their agents. And their agents might have higher up clients that want to sign somewhere. And you better believe that trickles up, man.
If you want to take advantage of your sportsbook this season, you'll need to download BetQL, the only app you'll need to make smart bets. As I mentioned at the top of this show, folks, BetQL's best bet algorithm went 13-2 for 5-star bets in week 1 between Thursday through Sunday. What does that mean? That means if you would have bet on those games, you'd have made some money, and some good money. You can find the information in the description and comments of this video to take advantage of BetQL right now. Their best bet computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across every major sport. And it gives you the reasoning behind why you need to make some of those bets. Their model covers everything from spreads, overs to unders, player prop bets, everything you need to get your necessary tools in research needs. What if you want to do your own research? That's fine. It gives you the information right then and there. You can find it to make the decision you want to make. And it gives you team lineups, breaking news, injury updates, plus it saves all your picks for your best bets, and it gives you a track of your success and winning streak. Folks, once again, go ahead and enter in the promo code ChatLions at payment to get your 25% off, and you can find the information to get a full year subscription free of BetQL in the description of this video. Okay, so we got trade deadline coming up, and I don't know if you've heard from 97 on the ticket. We got Mike Valenti who's talking about potential trades, one being Taylor Decker, one being Trey Flowers, another one TJ Hawkinson, which I really don't understand that.
Flowers is possible, and dare I say probable. Decker's not going anywhere. The investment that they made in that guy to be a tackle on the team, either the left tackle or the right tackle, there's no point in doing that because you instantly have to use whatever you would trade him for to replace him. You're not going to get like Decker plus X because you're going to spend exactly what you get for him to replace him. So that's stupid. It's a dumb concept. Flowers, on the other hand, you've got the replacement. Charles Harris is out there. Julian Okwara can take some reps there. You can play Barnes a little bit there. You got some guys that can play that role that can. Look, I'm not going to say that Trey Flowers or that those guys are as good as Trey Flowers, but in the long term, Trey Flowers probably isn't part of this team in 2023, 2024 when you're really trying to compete.
Yep.
If you can spin him off now for assets, yeah, that makes some sense. But there's no point in getting rid of Taylor Decker. Look, when you make your calling card your offensive line, you don't trade away a very good veteran left tackle. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. That's the kind of guy that you trade for, not trade away.
I always say, look at the financial aspect. It's a $28 million dead cap hit.
Oh.
That's a gut punch. That's a gut punch. So if you were to do that
means you're not getting a wide. That means Allen Robinson off the table as a wide receiver coming up, and you better believe he ain't going back to Chicago next year.
Yeah,
that's the kind of guy you're looking at to help this receiving core. You want free agent money. You want to have money to spend on that. You can't take a financial hit like you would to get rid of Decker.
It would be a gut punch. It would be a killer.
Hawkinson, he's your best. He's your best offensive weapon right now. Him and Swift. I wish they would have used him more last week. I hope they use him more this week because the Bears defense, like their defensive front, can still play. That was one thing that was clear from their game film. Like they like Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks. They still got some guys up front that can cause problems, but you can counter that by having quick hit passes to Hawkinson and hit Swift on a swing pass. Make them work. Make them you rely on your good players. You don't build long-term better by getting rid of good young players. Decker's still a young guy too. That's the thing. Like he's got 5 or 6 more good years. I don't understand. Look, Flowers is a different case. If they can flip Flowers for a 3rd-round pick next year and something maybe beyond that, or a young wide receiver or a young cornerback, I'd probably do that. That makes sense to me. But beyond that,
100%. I concur with the Trey Flowers. I don't think he's he's going to be a long-term player here, and you probably could get like a third for him. Yeah, you're going to take a little bit of a cap hit, but I think that would make logical sense for them rebuilding this football team. But taking such a massive cap hit of $28 million, and it's like you said, Taylor Decker's not old. He's a very good left tackle. It would be a gut punch to the football team. And then the TJ Hawkinson trade. You heard about that, right? He talked about trading TJ Hawkinson.
I tried to ignore it, to be honest with you, man.
I'm sorry. Hey, when you're on YouTube, they always come to me, man. We got to trade away TJ Hawkinson and all these players. I said, That makes no sense. That don't make any sense.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Like one of the things that I try to do, and I try to present to people, is like be on another team. Like let's say you're. I'll use the Texans as an example because they're in my brain right now. Let's say the Houston Texans ask you for T.J. Hawkinson. You got to think, why do they want this guy? What are they going to give me that would make up for it, where I can possibly recoup? Like he's one of the 5 best tight ends in the league, and the arrow is going up. He's your best receiving weapon right now. Probably will be next year too, no matter who they add at wide receiver. And how much are you? What's the purpose for you to get rid of it? And why would other teams? If everybody's calling you about the same guy and it's a young, talented guy, you might want to think, hey, maybe I should keep that guy. Like if everybody else thinks that he's probably pretty good, maybe we should keep him. We kind of need good players here. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why I said Mark. That was weird. It's the wrong stage there. But yeah, look. When it comes to trades, it's not just, I always tell everybody, it's not just getting the player or sending the player away. It's also about fiscally being responsible as well. Right now, with 4 players or 5, Matthew Stafford, Desmond Trufant, Coleman, and Collins cutes for $55 million dead cap right now for this year. For this year. That's disgusting.
There's a few other dudes in there, but the thing is, that's off the books. That they did take a hit for Collins. I want to say it's a little over $7 million for next year that they hit. But I think we've seen that he needed to go. I think it was pretty clear that nobody else was taking on his contract. That's one thing. There was a lot of people that were upset about not being able to trade Jamie Collins. Again, if you're another team, you just watch this guy play like absolute dog crap on national television. He looked slow. He looked disinterested. He looked lethargic. He kind of looked that way all year. You want to justify to your fans that you're going to trade for that guy and bring in, I think it was $10.5 million in salary. Your fans are going to go crazy if you make that trade. So I get why the Lions had to eat it. It's unfortunate. It's cleaning up from the old regime. That's one of the issues that you have when you have an organization that was in as bad of a spot as they were. And I don't think that a lot of fans truly appreciated just how awful it ended with that last regime. Everything had to be wiped away. This isn't one of those where you take a little a little Swiffer and get it where you needed a freaking industrial mop and a fire hose to get rid of everything that they did wrong.
Let's do one final shout out to the sponsor of this stream, BetQL, the best freaking way to take advantage and beat your sportsbook this year. And hopefully win you a lot of money. It's all about the money. This app will give you easy to make and its smartest bets you possibly could have. The app is really great. I love it, man. The different models regarding spreads, overs, the unders, player prop bets. It's right there in front of you and give you the best bets of the week. It's easy to use. Everyone knows I'm terrible at tech. Everyone knows I am not the tech guy. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. All you got to do is go ahead and get started in the world of sports betting. Go to Google Play or App Store to download BetQL right now. You have also check out their BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL. Once again, go in the description below. The link is chatsports.com. Deposit $10. Bet $10 and you can receive a free year of BetQL within 24 hours of your wager settle. Look, I've been telling everybody this last regime destroyed this team. They've literally took talent, got rid of talent, and gave us a bunch of players that are talentless or injured. They hurt the team fiscally. What Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes took over was a very bad problem. One of the worst, I think, in all of the NFL. And I kept saying to people, look, we may not win a lot of games, but it's about getting younger. It's about getting these younger players on the field so they can kind of see what they have. And it's building for the future for the next year and the following year. And I'm 100% with you. Quinn, Patricia killed this team. Can you just explain to the people out there how bad they hurt this team?
You talk about like guys that they got rid of for spite. Like they got rid of Quandre Diggs because he effectively told Matt Patricia that this defense won't work with the guys that you've got. You've got to either let us do something else or just something. And Patricia's like, well, screw you, dude. My defense is perfect. I'm a rocket scientist. I get the pencil behind my ear to prove it. Go to Seattle. They dumped Darius. Look, he didn't like dudes with personality. Darius Slay. Probably on the downside of his career now. He did not play well the other night against Dallas. I still love Darius. I like the guy a lot. I've interviewed him a couple times. He's a great human being, really enjoyable dude. You can't just dump guys like that for nothing. Look at all of the resources that they spent on running backs. Running back. You cut 2 guys you drafted because you drafted another one. You've got so many other holes on your team. You realized you had all 3 of your 4 top wide receivers all hit free agency at the same time, and you know that you can't afford to pay more than one of them. Where's your plan? They didn't have one, man. And being able to come back from that, like, there's only so much that Brad Holmes can do in 1 year. There's only so much that, all of the guys that are coming in, when you got so many damn holes, you can't fill it all at once. They chose to build the trenches this year. So we're going to have to live with a bad receiving core, to be frank, not very good secondary. That's going to come next year. Hopefully they do a good job in filling it. But we are learning. A.J. Parker can play. They might have something with Bobby Price. I think Ifeatu Melifonwu, I think was a good pick. I think he's going to wind up being okay in time.
Jerry Jacobs, too. I like him.
I love Jerry. We've had a chance to interview him on the Detroit Lions podcast. That guy is 100% all in. And he is – I love how he talks about Dan Campbell and Aubrey Pleasant, the defensive backs coach, and how much energy they bring and how much positivity they have, how much they're trying to teach them. That's another thing that didn't happen with the old regime. They weren't teachers. They didn't want young players to develop because they didn't know how to handle them. This group, man, you see Deuce Staley on the sideline talking to DeAndre Swift after he misses a block or is in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It's his hand around him. He's like, hey, man, I've been there. I've seen this. You saw me play. I know what I'm talking about. The last regime, they didn't have any of that rapport with that. The players are buying in. Look, these players, they're not a talented team, unfortunately.